Hey, welcome to Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour, and this is the final season, 25 years on the air. It's coming down to the last few episodes. Today, we are doing Madonna, not literally, but figuratively. We are doing Like a Virgin, released November 12th, 1984, which was almost today. Today's November 6th.
Yeah.
So that would be 34 years ago,
Wow.
I believe. Holy
Wow.
That's
incredible.
Anyway, today we have Estelle Masri, rock star photographer. We have Cha-Cha and Michael Macchioli, of course. Madonna gets very political sometimes, as you guys know. So we're going to start off with a Madonna story from, I think it was last election day. So this is a quick story, but it was a very exciting story. I don't know if you guys remember this. But
I do remember
it
this.
was a while back. It was actually 2017.
Aren't you still being litigated over this?
That Madonna rips out her own uterus in protest. So this was a shocking turn of events back then. So Madonna showed up unexpectedly during the March for Life rally in Washington, D.C. She crashed Mike Pence's speech and ripped out her own uterus with her bare hands. With blood everywhere, she chewed on the uterus before she flung it at Pence. She was screaming, "You want my uterus? Well, here it is." She later wrote Helter Skelter on the wall with her own blood. Secret Service wrestled her to the ground and tased her before transporting her to the hospital. Madonna was treated and released. The uterus was donated to the Hard Rock Cafe Museum in Las Vegas, and it will be proudly displayed next to Janis Joplin's soiled underpants and Jimi Hendrix's vomit.
Wow.
There you go. All the news. Not fit for print. Madhouse Magazine. So it's a good way to start off the show.
He dug deep for that one, folks.
I would so go see that. Would you not? If it was in the Hard Rock Cafe?
Hendrix's vomit? Sure. Why not?
No. And Janis Joplin's underwear and Madonna's uterus all in the same place.
There's probably some
I
sick
think
collector
it's a
out there
guy
that already
thing,
has that.
You would want to see
No,
that.
I would not want to see that.
Well, just think. You know that like when the king was died on the toilet, that somebody decided to save that.
Oh, Mike.
It's true.
No, that's not true. I've never heard that story.
That's an urban legend. That's a rock
fake
urban legend.
news.
Oh, okay.
But now it's time to play some music. So we're going to start off with, of course, this is 1984. So playing all songs from 1984.
Excellent.
Or around that time. And we're going to start off with Like a Virgin by Madonna and then Eyes Without a Face by Billy Idol.
Nice.
And we'll be right back. Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour 474 The Mix. Hey, welcome back, Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour. You just heard Like a Virgin by Madonna from Like a Virgin. Doesn't that work out good?
Yeah.
And Eyes Without a Face by Billy Idol, the two biggest stars of the 80s, of 1984. Were they the two biggest stars? Well, we'll
I
get
have
to
a
that.
debate.
We'll have the debate on that. Who was the biggest star of 1984?
Prince.
We'll get to it. We're not doing that debate right now. Now, before I forget, I want to say something brilliant. That when someone dies, like when a rock star dies, instead of the money going to the relatives and them all fighting for it and misusing it, the money should go to the fans.
I'm for that.
What do you think about that?
I love it.
You know, you have a
Based
contest.
on album sales, like
I come in with all my albums and I prove that I'm the biggest fan, right? And then
but you have to have receipts
contest.
from when you bought them too.
Right. And you have a trivia contest and you show all your memorabilia that you bought,
Right.
and ticket stubs and all that stuff over the years.
True.
Yeah.
Well, if this was a thing, we would have known back then, and we would have been preparing.
Yeah.
And we would have saved our ticket stubs and things like that.
It's true.
But so I don't know. Can we start it retroactively?
No, because my mother threw everything out.
All right.
Good point.
Sure.
So anyway, this came up because we were discussing Prince and that how he died, and now all his ne'er-do-well relatives have.
He's being used in a Capital One commercial. It's
Yeah.
awful.
Oh.
See, I would never do that. I would keep the money for myself and
Right.
just do good things with it. Like buy myself the stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Good things. It's a good thing.
So anyway, now we're going to talk to our esteemed guest, columnist, or whatever, Estelle Masri, who is a senior staff photographer and contributor to Madhouse Magazine.
That's a big honor.
Yes, that's a good title. I like that.
Vice president in charge
Thank you.
of
That's
pictures or something like that.
Photography.
Something like that.
Yeah.
She's our creative director.
Exactly. Like just recently, Estelle covered the Metallica concert. I know that was a good story. Estelle, would you like to tell that, or would you like to
let's hear
me to tell it and you
can
embellish?
start. Yes,
All right,
let's do
I'll
that.
start off. So it was in University Park, Pennsylvania, which is 27 hours away, I think.
Yeah,
from
where's
here.
that?
I think like 38.
It's where Penn State is.
Yeah.
Penn State College is
that's
right
like-
in there, right?
yeah,
So it's
that's
Metallica.
far.
They're doing a weird tour this year. They're not going to New York City, Philadelphia. They're just going to like odd places like that. So Estelle, being the trooper that she is, she packed up her bags and drove 4.5 hours to go cover the Metallica concert.
Wow.
Right? And
Right.
that's taking a big risk because you never know what's going to happen when you get there.
Very true.
But anyway, so she ends up getting there just in time. You had to be there by like 8:20 or whatever.
8:20,
And she ends up getting stuck in traffic. And tell us the rest.
Well, stuck in traffic, and it's raining, and I'm a standstill traffic, so I can't even get to the parking deck. Like, I'm just stuck, and I have 10 minutes.
Wow.
Right? I can't even get out of my car. Like, I'm like, what do I do? So I see this parking lot, but it's like, your car will be towed, and I'm like, maybe it's worth it. I thought about it for a second. I'm like, it could be worth it, to get my car towed. And as I was thinking that, traffic started moving. So I parked in the pouring rain. Like, it was about 20 blocks. No kidding. Like, I'm like running. I have heels on because,
Yeah.
you always wear heels when you go shoot a
Goes
concert.
without saying.
Of course. With my bag, my camera equipment. So I'm running and running. I'm like, I can't feel my legs. I can't feel anything. I'm like, I don't care. I just need to get there and then I'll deal with it. So I get there. I'm completely soaked. I get to the counter and I can't talk. So I just throw my license. I'm like, press pass. I'm like, I can't talk. I'm like leaning on the counter. I'm dripping. Poor lady goes and gets whoever is. Anyway, so she puts me where I need to be. I'm there in time. But my sticker won't even stick on me because I'm soaked, right?
Was your mascara running down like
it was disgusting. Yes, and my hair was just I didn't care at this point. I'm like, I really don't care. But there were 2 other photographers there that drove about 5 hours to get there as well because they said it's so hard to get a pass to shoot Metallica, and but anyway, so they went through the same thing as well. So that's how the night started. But I was there and I was very happy, and we were escorted down. We all had a person assigned to us, which was
Wow, that's
little-
impressive, right?
I guess, yeah, impressive.
We
Or
never
I
did.
felt like a little child, like being watched over. But I'm like, it was a little weird.
So you were being watched.
I was being watched.
gotcha.
Yeah, it wasn't
In
like,
case
you're
Lars
so
picked his
special.
nose
Let me.
or
That's
something
why I
like
was like,
that.
oh,
It was
wow,
more like we're watching you. We're watching your every move.
And
But
like, normally
go
at
ahead.
concerts, right, when it's really good, they put you in a pit right in front
in
of
the
the
front.
stage, and it's gated off from everybody
Exactly.
else. But this was not like that.
Well, they had that. So I saw that, and I just assumed that's where they would take us, as
Right.
they started. But no, there were probably like 8 rows of people in the front, and she said, these people paid a lot of money for their tickets, so we can't ruin their experience.
Oh, give me
So you're going to have to shoot through them. So, and they're all tall, and,
Right.
I'm like, what do I do? So I was kind of freaking out at that point, but
So
I mean,
basically,
it
Metallica
worked
gets
out.
worse and worse every time I hear about them recently. Like,
They get
Nothing to do
worse?
with Metallica. Metallica doesn't really have anything to do with that.
you can't blame them because
the venue
yes,
and
it's
the
the
publicist.
yes.
Yeah, I never hold it against the artists.
No. Because I
Except
think
one time.
yeah, maybe once
yeah.
or twice.
Oh, that.
Oh, I want to hear about that.
That's a good story.
I want to hear about that.
We'll keep going here. We'll get to me. Don't worry.
Yeah, I really didn't think I got anything. I mean, to be quite honest with you, it was a struggle. It was like the worst. It was probably the worst shoot that I've had. That I really felt like, what am I? Like I'm not going to get anything. Like I was really worried.
It's a shame.
I was really worried. I'm like, crap. Because most of the time I was running around trying to find a spot, like where I could shoot between people. So I wasted like probably a song and a half.
And they only
trying
give you 3
to find,
songs.
and there's
right?
only 3 songs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
So I'm like, oh my
There's a lot of
God, like, what
pressure
am I
in
going to
this.
do?
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I stayed through the whole concert, and the seats were actually really good afterwards, and
That I have
they
to
put on an
say,
amazing
Cool.
show.
I've
but-
never seen them.
Well, you have to.
Yeah, I've never.
They're pretty amazing. So much energy, and the crowd was very different than what I expected. But I think it also had a lot to do because there was no drinking. They didn't serve alcohol at the venue at all.
A lot of
So it was
people
very
probably were caught off
mild.
guard with that.
Yeah, I don't
wow.
think I liked it because I felt safe.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
yeah, but I mean, like the couple next to me, like they look like they just got off of work on Wall Street. I mean, they were like in suit and tie, and she was all sitting all proper, and I was like, this is so odd.
That's
so it
so
was like,
odd.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
how I feel about that, Macchioli.
No, yeah.
People wearing suits to concerts.
It bothers me. It's like you go to the Yankee game, and like, you know, like there's like
Oh, yeah,
people in the
people
front row
coming
wearing
away
suits.
from
It's like,
work.
yeah, and you get there in the
Yeah.
6th inning. Okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, people do what they have to do.
I know. Listen, they wanted to be there, so
Yeah.
Corporate
It
tickets.
was a
Probably.
Saturday, wasn't it?
was
Ah!
it was
Wall
a
Street's
Saturday. So
closed
no,
on
wait a minute.
Saturdays.
That is true. But
Well,
they
okay.
yeah, I have no defense for these
Right, I don't know what to
people.
say.
So there you go.
You're
You're probably Knox.
Yeah, what's
So
with
anyway,
the suit,
it was a good
people?
experience, right? And you got some good shots out of this whole
I
deal.
actually
It
did.
worked out
Yes,
good.
it worked out very well.
Yes.
Yes.
So so yes, you also mentioned that Metallica was one of your dream
Yeah, top
shows
three.
to tell us your top 3.
Okay, so my first is Madonna.
See, what
there we go.
Yeah,
My
that makes
top,
sense.
yes.
And what were the other two?
My second Slash,
Nice.
and my
your
third
third?
is Metallica. So
You see?
I'm working my way up.
Madhouse makes dreams.
I'm,
Cha-cha.
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
in
it's,
in 1 month,
In
we
one
got her
month.
to do her top 2
I
covering.
mean, that's impressive.
and
In
the
one
next
month.
thing is Madonna.
it's
That's
gonna
the big
happen.
one.
Comes around.
It's gonna happen.
Is she
it's
touring?
happening.
Is that going to
I
happen?
just we can talk about this. She is coming out with a new album. I heard she's going to be doing like some rap influenced album. I don't know if she started working on it yet or when it's scheduled to come out. But I just heard that the other day. So
Huh.
that
So there we
means
have it.
She will be coming
So
around.
there we have it.
It's going to happen. We're putting it out there. It's
See?
Exactly.
There it
It's all
is.
about energy.
So let's find out more about Estelle now.
Yeah,
why you
she's
cannot
adorable.
vote? Let's tell us about why you can't vote.
well, I'm a French citizen, so.
Thought you could keep that from
Vive la
me.
France.
Yes, oui, oui.
Bonjour, bonjour.
I know.
You know, I
Yes.
can speak
So
some French as
cool.
well. Ready for this?
Yes, go.
Les poupous doesn't count.
No.
dude.
Les-
Sont les mots qui vont très bien ensemble. You know what that's
Well, a
from?
little Beatles.
Yes,
From
it's
the
a
Beatles.
Beatles
Yeah,
song.
Yes,
that's
very
well,
good.
yeah.
That's it.
So, what does that actually mean, though? Michelle, I love you or something?
That does not mean Michelle, I love you.
No.
These are words I
That-
say to you,
yes,
right? Because he
yes,
says it in English and
yes,
then he says it in
yes,
French. So,
that's
there you go.
Okay.
So yeah, so tell us about this France thing. Like when you
This
come
France
to the
thing.
United States, and what was it like being in France? Did you
Okay.
ever see Madonna there and all that stuff?
Okay. No, I never. I have not seen Madonna. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I did go see her in concert.
Okay.
About 10 years ago.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, I was born and raised in France, and my mother remarried an American. Her English professor.
Interesting.
There we go.
Sounds scandalous.
Yes, and
Is he's not your dad? Is that
no,
what
he's
you're
my
saying?
stepdad.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So she was a student, and he was her professor, and they fell in love.
It's so
and,
French.
so French.
So French, yeah.
That's what we do. So yeah, and then he told her, he said, well, let's just go to the United States and try it out for a year and see how you like it. And we never went back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
Something.
North
how old
Carolina,
were you
yes,
when
I was
you came
8.
here?
You were 8.
Because you have like
I was
no
8.
sign of an accent.
I
really.
No,
I
you
don't
don't.
pick up accents, but although when I go back to France or if I go back to North Carolina, and I'll come back and I'll have it for like a week or two, and then
Right.
it just goes away.
Hey, there's a little
So,
North Carolina.
do you hear?
there.
Yeah, I hear
Yeah,
people
yeah,
tell me
I
that
heard.
every once in a while.
That I
yes,
hear a
the
little.
southern.
And how long
Yeah,
were you in
subtle.
North Carolina for then?
So from age 8 until I was 30.
Wow.
Yeah. No, that's a lie.
That's a
That's a
That's-
total
No, that's a
lie.
lie.
I'm sorry. I totally lied.
Ah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm very honest too. So no, I'm thinking about when I moved to New York. I'm sorry about that. I moved to New York in 2001.
Okay.
Yeah. Right before the Twin Towers
Oh,
went
That's
down.
a fun
yeah,
time
it
to
was
move there. I was
3
gonna
months
say, yeah.
before.
Wow,
Welcome to
what?
New York.
3 nights
Yeah.
before?
3 months.
Oh.
You got to watch these
I'm
immigrants.
3
saying
months
you're going
before.
on a watch list for sure. If that,
Wow.
Like, wait a minute.
this doesn't add up.
That does not add
Wait a
up.
minute.
She's lying to us. Yeah, it's just not good. Yeah. So she's going to be on a PBS special on December 15th. And I went to Texas to shoot that show. So like there's no photos out yet because, we have to save them until they do the actual publicity for the show. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Wow,
That's
when's
cool.
that supposed to come out?
So that's December 15th.
Yeah, because you had like whole backstage and all access for this and everything.
Yeah, for 2 days.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to shoot the rehearsal, which was amazing. Yeah, she's a talent. I mean, she's really, really talented.
Yeah,
good
she
voice.
Her voice
that
is
is true.
Heard from her in a
amazing.
long time.
It's been
That's
a while,
good.
so
Yeah.
hopefully she'll do a good comeback. But I'm really excited because my photos are going to be used on the DVD.
Oh, nice.
And the CD.
Wow.
Yeah, I just got the
That's really
email like a few days ago, so that's pretty exciting. Yeah, that's a pretty
very
big deal. Yeah.
exciting.
See, and you
So I'm
didn't have to
excited about
run
that.
through the rain and nobody pushing
I did
you.
not. I did have to fly over, to Texas, but it's all good.
Wow.
So that's
Did
exciting.
they fly
Yes.
you?
Yes.
They flew you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, damn.
I was
that's
treated
some
very
budget.
well. Yeah. That was big time. Yeah.
That's cool.
That's good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So any other fascinating artists that you had the pleasure of covering that you interested in talking about?
Well, Slash, of course, was
Slash.
was very exciting. That was last minute, and it was pretty awesome. I mean, although the first song I completely wasted because I didn't know I was going to be so close to him. So I'm just standing there.
Oh,
I honestly, he's right here, and I'm like just looking
really
at the
cool.
detail of his face, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's right there. And then it clicked. I was like,
The
wait a
little heart
second.
goes-
Oh, I'm at work.
Yeah, I did. I was like, oh my. And then the other photographers are running into me, and I'm just like standing there. I just wanted to take it in. I was like, there's like he's there's lots of hair going on, but I was trying to look past it. But he's pretty impressive. So I but I still got great shots from that. But the first song I did kind of just took him in. I took him in.
Taking in the
I
scene,
took
right?
him in.
That's fun.
Oh, that's okay.
So that was so that's okay. That was fun. Who else? Alice Cooper was pretty cool. I
awesome.
got to shoot him twice, and that was a great show as well. I got to meet him, which he's a really
They say he's an
cool
awesome
person.
guy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So different off stage than he is,
Right,
live.
yeah.
But yeah.
Did you call him Vince or
He's
Alice?
a very
I didn't call him
normal
anything.
person. Hello, Mr.
I was like,
Cooper.
I didn't know what to call him.
Right.
That was pretty impressive. Who else? I mean, like Alicia Keys was my first big
Oh, wow.
star to shoot, and that was I got to shoot her during rehearsal as well, and I was the only photographer there. So that was
Wow.
Nice.
So that was like an all day at the Apollo Theater, which
Wow.
was pretty
that's
cool.
so
So that was my
cool.
big
Really cool.
yeah, and yeah, she was really nice too. So I was on stage with her during rehearsal, and all of a sudden she stopped, and I'm on stage shooting, and I'm like, oh my God, like she's gonna tell me to get off stage, because I'm like, and she starts walking towards me, and I'm like, I'm not supposed to. I'm thinking all these bad thoughts.
right.
I'm like, I'm not supposed to be up here. Like she's gonna tell me to get off. Like how embarrassing. And she comes up to me and shakes my hand. She's like, I'm Alicia. What's your name? So I told her. She's like, thank you so much for being here.
Wow.
Nice.
I was like,
That's cool.
wow. Okay, yeah.
Right.
So that was.
She's
Impressive.
moving
That
up
was
in the books now. We
Yeah,
like
I
Alicia
like-
Keys.
yes.
Well, I always
She's-
liked her.
She's
Yes.
really talented.
But
Come
she
on.
really, she is really, really, really nice and sweet and
Nice.
And she's beautiful,
And she's
too,
beautiful.
right?
And
and
you
stuff,
know
but-
that I passed up the opportunity to meet Ringo and Joe Walsh just recently
No,
Why was
it's
that? I
terrible.
forget
Why?
what that
because it was on a Monday night. And I'm going to tell you,
You are
I'm-
so ridiculous.
You don't do Monday nights?
Cha-cha. Was it
No,
you're doing?
no,
No, not Josh. I cannot blame him.
Okay.
That I'm going to talk about this because the guy is coming on next week. Actually, he's coming on, and I'm going to bring it up then in front of him. But we needed a new drummer in our band, and this guy
right.
hooked it up to have a drummers come audition that Monday. So I couldn't blow him off at the last minute because that's the thing. Publicists keep you hanging on until the last minute a lot of times, and then they tell you. So I had another photographer cover it, and I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. What would happen though? It was a red carpet event for Joe Walsh in honor. So you'd be on the red carpet, and they let you interview him there. So I would have been on the red carpet interviewing Ringo Starr, and I'm not sure if you know who Ringo Starr is, but he was in a band.
Richard Starkey,
was in a
right?
A
little
little
band.
band called the Beatles.
Beatles. And I would have been this close to Ringo. So tell me about yourself, Slugger. And I blew it off for this moron.
You know, I should smack you.
and
You
should.
should deserve a
And then
smack. Go ahead, Matt.
I don't even want to get into it because the drummer was so bad that we
So,
had to abort the audition that night too. So
I mean, I was
right,
actually
That's
shocked
unfortunate.
when he told me.
Because you never know what's going to happen. That, you know, I blow off this drummer and there's big problems in the band. We don't have a drummer for the next gig. And then I end up going there and I'm sitting outside. Oh, sorry, we don't have a pass for you. You got to stand in the rain. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that can happen.
You never know what's going to happen.
never know.
So
Yeah,
you have to think
that's
quick
true.
on your feet.
Let's think.
I know.
In the topsy-turvy
Consider that.
world
And
of
you know
rock
how
and
many
roll.
publicists I'm not speaking to right now?
You were very quick
No,
to
really.
blame
You have
me.
to behave.
Yes.
I was just wondering.
Please.
There's only one that I don't speak to anymore.
Who's
There's
that?
one. I can't give her a name.
No, we can't put
Well,
this
it's
out.
a crappy little theater, and I went off on her because she was not getting back to me. And then finally she gets back to me, and she goes, "Listen, I'm busy. I don't have." And I went berserk. I said, "Listen to me. Your crappy little theater with this crappy little artist who I don't even want to go to, but I'm doing you a favor by going. And you're going to tell me when just the other day I'm covering Judas Priest at the Prudential Center, and they get right back to me and tell me yes or no. So don't tell me nothing, Missy." And that was the last I spoke to her. That's it.
Let it out.
Calm
Let
down.
it out.
And I said,
It's all right, Rock.
we got to talk about Madonna. We're way behind schedule.
You are
now,
like
so-
off the rails.
Yes. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Madonna before we take a break
Okay.
here. But does anyone know Madonna's real name?
Something Ciccone.
It is Madonna,
Yes,
isn't it?
But
yeah.
you need.
Isn't
her
it like
full
Louise
first-
Ciccone or?
It's Ciccone something.
It's
Madonna,
Madonna
Louise
Louise Ciccone.
Ah,
that's-
see?
yeah.
Put 'em all
That's a
together
nice
and then you get
name,
it.
actually.
Exactly. Yeah, it is very nice.
Yeah. And Veronica, I think, is her confirmation name.
Ooh, that's a
Oh,
very good
wow.
one.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
All
fan
right,
there.
here's a good trivia question. What's her birthday? Birthday.
No, she's
no-
born in August.
August,
She
right?
just
had-
August
yeah.
15th,
What?
Close.
1956. I know that.
Really?
August 16, 1958.
58. Yeah.
See, I always thought she was from New York, but she
No.
was not. She was
No.
born in Michigan,
No.
and she moved to New York City
Yes.
in 1978 to pursue
And
a
who was
career.
one of her
right.
early roommates?
I believe it was Janis Joplin.
Nah, Debbie Mazar, actually.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
One of her best
God.
friends, actually.
Yeah,
Again,
that's
she's in the
right.
video.
Yeah.
We'll see her. We'll talk
That's
about
right.
Debbie Mazar. Make a note of that. We're going to talk about Debbie Mazar later. And you know how much money she had when she came here? $35 in her pocket.
Of course.
And she said, I'm coming to New York City and I'm going to be a star. And
Yeah,
that's
she
the
did
thing
say
about
that.
Madonna. That she was not the most talented. She didn't have the greatest voice in the world.
Right.
But she knew she wanted to be a star.
No, she
said,
willed
no
herself
matter
to be a
what
star.
happens, I'm going to be
right.
a star. I'm going to go there. She was, a dancer at this
She
point.
played multiple
Yeah.
instruments too. Like,
Yeah, she's very talented, and we're gonna get to all of that. Should we take a break and play some songs now?
I agree.
I think we should. All right, let's do some more Madonna now. How about this one, Borderline?
Ooh.
That's not actually from this album, right? It's from the
The
first
sec-
album, Madonna's first
yeah,
album.
you're right. You
now,
debut.
what's more 80s than listening to this? I was listening to these songs last night as I was deciding what songs we should play, and Borderline came on, and I was like, oh my
yeah.
God, it's 1984 again.
Right.
Where's
Right.
my Flock of Seagulls haircut?
Yeah. Yeah. And Lucky Star.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
these songs. It's so iconic. So here's another one. This was one of my favorites from 1984. I still cry every time I hear it. Time After Time. by
Ooh,
Cyndi
Cindy
Lauper.
Lauper, Jersey Girl.
So,
That's a
yep,
good one.
We will be right back. Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour 474 The Mix. Hey, welcome back, Madhouse Magazine Radio Hour. You just heard Borderline by Madonna from her first album, and Time After Time by Cyndi Lauper. You know what that song is about?
Losing friends.
I was thinking about She Bop. You know what She Bop's about?
Yes.
Yeah, you know what that's
a bad
about.
Song. Time After Time is a nice song. So
Yeah, it's not a
anyway,
nice
so
song.
let's talk about
What was the Goonies song?
Madonna. You ready? The
Yes.
Queen of Pop, star of stage and screen. She was a singer, dancer, musician, writer, producer, fashion trendsetter. She did it all. She was in movies. What was your favorite movie? Desperately Seeking Susan, Vision Quest, Dick Tracy, A League of Their Own, Evita.
Right.
I think Desperately Seeking Susan
That's
was my
mine.
favorite.
That's my personal.
Yeah.
Actually, I
And
never
she-
saw any of the others. No, League of Their Own. She was
That
great.
was
in
really
good in
good.
that
That's
one.
a very good movie.
Right.
Did you see all of these movies, Estelle?
No.
Which one? What do you mean? You call yourself a Madonna fan? You didn't see all her movies?
I like her music.
What?
I like her music.
Oh, not her movies? All right. You
I
ain't
mean,
getting
no-
nothing when she dies.
She's a pretty good actress, though. Like League of
Cut off.
League of Their Own is. She's really good. in
Cut
that.
off.
Yeah. So,
my God.
and she's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. First
Yes.
chance, bam, she's in.
You know what she's great in too? Actually, Saturday Night Live with Coffee Talk.
Oh yeah,
She's
yeah.
fantastic in
that
that.
was fun.
She's
She
so
was
good.
very-
Like
yeah.
when she
Yeah,
hosted
yeah.
SNL, she was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so she came to New York City. Let's start off from the beginning. 1978. It's the beginning. It's the end of punk. It's the beginning of new wave. Disco is going on, and rap is starting. Very exciting time to be in New York City. And she's sleeping on floors, and she's in bands, and she's doing everything. She's dancing. She's in the clubs at night. And then she signed with Sire Records in 1982.
Right.
Seymour Stein. The Ramones are on Sire Records. But this album here set her over the top to be the biggest star in the world. So it was 1984. Let's go back to 1984, if you will. And this
I
album,
will.
it went November 12th, like I said. It's almost 34 years ago. And this album went to #1. It sold 21 million albums worldwide. That is a lot of albums.
And we didn't have it.
Well, and then remember,
Yeah,
MTV
right.
came around like at
Well,
the same.
absolutely.
That was
that's
the whole
what-
thing.
That's what kicked this off. And
Yeah.
this was produced by Nile Rodgers, by the way, from Chic
Okay.
fame.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Niles Rodgers from Bowie, from
Right, exactly.
everybody.
That's why she
like-
picked Nile Rodgers
Yeah,
too. Because
he's
she's
a hit
like,
maker.
Right before that, he produced the Bowie Blue, whatever the album was.
Blue Jean.
Yeah, the whole album. I forget the name of it. But anyway, Let's Dance. That's the name of it. So Nile Rodgers produced that. And then right before this album came out, she was on the MTV Music Awards, the first ever MTV Music Awards.
Yeah.
The most iconic appearance on any show ever. It's
Exactly.
been actually voted that. Besides Estelle,
It made her a star.
appearance on this show,
Of
which
course.
might rival
This
it.
is going to rival it for sure.
It's going to skyrocket
I
you.
think so too.
Yeah. So Madonna coming out dressed like this, like a wedding dress.
Dressed
Had a
like
wedding
this.
dress on,
Oh my gosh,
but
I
like with a
remember.
bustier,
Yes.
and didn't she have the veil on? And she's,
Rolling on the
Rolling
floor.
on the floor.
Oh my God.
and she had like a boy toy
That's
belt
crazy.
on.
Yes.
Did you see
Yeah,
that?
it's
So-
awesome.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
So this was all good stuff. That like I always
It's
like
good
to say.
television.
Right.
It's like a parent's telling you to leave
Right.
the room for a minute
Exactly.
moment.
And it's like, imagine girls all over the world, they fell in love with Madonna. Now, I was way too cool at this time, I gotta
Yeah,
say.
I was
That I
too,
couldn't
I think.
admit that I liked Madonna
Of course.
too much. I could say, oh yeah, she's cool and I can appreciate it, but I
Yeah.
had a reputation to uphold and I couldn't admit it. But now that time's gone by, I let go of my hang-ups and now I can admit that
Yeah.
I appreciate all that she's done and she's a
He's at home with his
amazing star.
feelings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I recognize her as, and let's talk about her now. She's been recognized as the world's best-selling female artist of all time by the Guinness Book of World Records. Total record sales. Can you imagine this? Total record sales. All her albums all over the world. 300 million
Yeah, it's crazy.
albums.
Wow.
She released 83 singles, 17 promotional singles, and charted with 10 other songs during her 35-year career.
Exactly.
I'm exhausted just talking about it. Can you imagine?
It's pretty impressive, I
Right.
have to
I love
say.
her.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this album here.
her.
It came out in 1984.
He loves
I
her.
love her.
Do you know who did the artwork for this? His guy.
I should know.
Is
Yes,
it
he's a
artwork or
photographer. No, yeah.
Oh.
That he worked for Vogue magazine, and his name was
Ah.
Stephen Meisel. And he went on to photograph the sex book as well. That she
Nice.
released later
Ooh,
on.
that was tough.
And,
Well,
yeah.
Cherish the Herb Ritz video is so good.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like,
that's the thing.
That's,
So
like,
let's go back to MTV. for a
iconic.
while.
Okay.
Did you have MTV in France during this time, or wherever you
I was
were?
here.
She was already here.
I was already
Yeah.
here.
I don't know.
I
the
was
time.
already here.
I don't know how old she is. I don't
said
know.
she-
Yes.
Did you have MTV
Yes.
wherever you were? Right?
Yes,
See, you
wherever
think
you
that's
were.
shocking because I didn't have MTV in Queens,
true.
New York.
It's because you lived in
I
Queens.
know.
City in the
Yeah.
world, and
Yeah.
they wouldn't give
Yeah,
me.
but New
They
York
wouldn't
City,
give
you
me-
couldn't get like
They
MTV.
wouldn't give him, but we
Right.
had it on Long
Yeah.
Yeah,
Island.
so she.
It's good to live in the suburbs sometimes.
Let's talk about 1984 now. Let's talk about who was the biggest star of 1984. Was it Madonna? Was it Prince? Was it Michael Jackson? Was it
Depends on
Bruce
who you
Springsteen?
ask.
Was it Cyndi Lauper?
I'll weigh in because I
Look at who
personally
you
think it
asked.
was Prince,
I'm
and
with you
because
on
he
that.
he
Go
wa-
with
he,
that, yeah.
he
Yeah.
literally like transcended things because of a movie,
Yeah.
best
Well,
soundtrack.
Look who's talking.
No,
about. She's got all.
No,
the-
but
didn't
wait,
have a
she didn't win an
movie in
Oscar for that.
84.
She had.
He won a-
Desperately
he-
Seeking Susan.
Yeah,
In
yeah, but
84?
And Vision
yeah,
Quest.
but
Both came out.
but
I don't
wait,
really
but
know
she
the dates,
No,
but
no,
no,
no.
but
I
she
don't-
didn't win an Oscar for it. Like
Right.
Prince was like,
Prince won an Oscar for
yeah,
what?
I'm pretty sure for Purple Rain, didn't he?
Well, not for acting. No way.
No,
No,
for
the
soundtrack.
album, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
That
that's the
was-
thing. Like he's way more
right.
important at that.
Well, it depends how you look at it. I would say if you were a 10-year-old girl at this time, Madonna might
Yes.
be.
Well,
And
that's
why I
true. I'm
said
not
it
arguing
depends
that,
on who
but-
you
Yeah,
ask.
absolutely.
Yeah.
He was,
and then,
yeah.
did you then take up her look at
Yes.
school?
You did? You had the
could see
lace
that.
and like
I
the
could see
jellies
that
and all
now,
that stuff?
actually.
Like, that's
I
cool.
would come home and dress up, and I would have. Yes,
bow?
I love it.
I would.
That's
I would
cool.
take my the bow, the heel. I would do it.
braided
Nice.
hair?
Everything. I
The
would
one
come home
hoop
after
earring and
school.
the one star.
Yes.
Yeah, like that's
And
cool.
I-
I
yes.
like it.
Were your parents okay with this, or are they?
Oh,
trying
they
to,
didn't have a choice.
Nah.
I mean, it was like,
Yeah.
this is what I'm doing, and yes.
See, it affected
Yeah.
me as a young
Yeah.
boy because it was like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm digging the way these girls are dressing now. Like,
Now remember though remember from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, there was either Pat Benatar girls
Right.
or it was
That's
true.
Madonna girls.
That's
Right.
right.
it's true.
You
That's
could have,
right.
That's
either
really
one
the
there.
That's right.
So anyway, let's talk about the songs
Mm-hmm.
now. How about Material Girl went to number 2?
Yeah, that was a-
Angel number
Great video.
5. Like a Virgin number 1.
Yeah.
And Dress You Up number
Oh,
5.
I love that one.
4
That's
top
one of my
five
favorites,
hits.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And a lot of songs that are good. You know, they weren't hits, but they were
Yeah.
good over and over. Love Don't Live Here Anymore. And Shooby Doo, Pretender, and Stay.
Right.
A lot of good stuff here. So now let's talk about her being the queen of the 80s. During the 80s, she had 15 top 20 songs and 6 number 1s.
Right.
That is pretty amazing, don't you think?
Yeah.
And using her in different soundtracks. I thought that was really cool, too.
Yeah,
during the 80s.
absolutely.
Like, lots
So
of different
Let's
movies.
name all these songs. Lucky Star, number 4. Borderline, number 10. Crazy for You, number 1.
Yeah,
Live to Tell, number 1. Papa Don't Preach, 3
yeah.
number
I have
ones
to
in a
tell
row.
you.
Well, Live to Tell is so cool.
is
Name the movie.
One of my favorites.
I don't know
That's a
any
good
movies.
song.
What-
Live,
Yeah.
Live to Tell is
Yeah.
from At Close Range with Christopher Walken. That's a really
She
great.
was in that one?
No, she
Oh,
did.
just
She
the
did
song.
the song "Live to Tell."
Oh, wait, was Sean Penn in that?
Yes.
too?
Sean
I love
Penn
that.
Well,
was
they
in
were
that
married.
I know.
Yeah.
All
it
right.
was-
Now
that's
let's
such
take a side tour here and let's talk about her men that she was
Yes,
involved with.
there you go.
So
Well-
that's a long list. You
Is
may
it
wanna-
really? Because
Yeah.
Well, now she was married to Sean Penn,
she
And
was,
Guy Ritchie.
Yes.
and then
but I actually have the list right here.
There we
oh,
go.
wow.
Every
I
man
didn't
she's
think-
been
You
with.
know, it's funny. I
Before
didn't.
we get to the men, did you know that on the first tour, who opened up for her? The Beastie Boys.
Wow.
And they were
that's-
thrown off very quick because they were acting insane and spilling beer on her.
Not
So
really
she-
their target audience.
Yeah, I can't really
Yeah.
picture that working.
Because I love
Oh,
it.
where's
yeah.
my list of men here?
Oh, you have a list of men.
I don't even know.
Oh, here we go. All
lot
right.
of them.
She was
Okay.
married to Sean Penn,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Okay.
Then Warren Beatty, remember that?
Oh,
Right.
yes,
In the
that's
movie.
right.
Oh, she made that documentary.
She wasn't
too.
married to him, though. was
Truth
she?
or Dare.
No, she wasn't
documentary.
married
I
to
didn't say she was married
Oh,
to
okay.
him.
Just the men she's been through.
She's just men. And Guy Ritchie, she was married to.
Yes.
JFK Jr. Did you know this?
I
No.
did.
David
Yeah,
JFK
for very
Jr.
small.
Yep. Now, Jose Canseco, a baseball player, a very famous baseball player at
Okay.
the time. This one I was very surprised at. Vanilla Ice. Can
Wow.
you believe that?
Vanilla.
I remember
can
Rodman.
believe that.
Dennis
but-
Rodman.
That I
Oh, yes,
remember.
I
remember
that
Rod.
Ugliest man in sports, or anything,
Showbiz.
really.
Yeah.
He got Carmen Electra.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to
I
give
guess.
him
Yeah, he-
a little
he-
credit.
He's got charisma, I guess.
Yeah.
Tupac Shakur she was with.
Really?
Wow.
And Carlos Leon, who is actually the father
The
of
father,
her daughter
yes.
Lourdes.
Yes.
Or
Oh,
Lourdes.
that's
Lourdes.
right.
Lourdes,
Lourdes.
yes.
Yeah.
Now, she
She's
has
beautiful,
kids
too.
with Guy Ritchie, too, right?
Yes.
Just a
Yeah.
son, right?
Yes.
One
I think.
kid.
So
Just
she
a
only has
son,
2
yes.
kids total?
Rocco?
No, she's got
No,
these
she has
adopted
six.
kids.
She has
Oh,
6
okay.
kids.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
But she has Rocco with Guy Ritchie.
With Guy Ritchie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
the
right.
funniest,
Yeah.
the funniest story I heard recently on Howard Stern show, Snoop Dogg was on, right? And he was saying he was on, he was the host of Saturday Night Live, and he couldn't leave. So he called his buddy Tupac and says, "I'm doing Saturday Night Live. Can you bring me some weed? I need some weed." So he says, "All right, sure." And then like 20 minutes later, Tupac rolls in with Madonna, and they're hanging out in the dressing room. And
Wow.
Snoop Dogg is out of his mind smoking
So
weed.
cool.
He's like, "Damn, that's Madonna."
Oh my god.
These things just don't happen anymore.
Oh my god, that's
Exactly.
awesome.
See, that was awesome.
I really loved her until she became British.
That's awesome.
No, yeah.
When did she become British?
Well, I guess when she
actually?
married Guy
Guy,
Ritchie.
right.
Yeah.
I think she was British before.
Well, no.
Well,
like
she
the
had
thing
the
is,
accent. And,
if you move over to Great Britain, if you're there for more than 6 months, you're going to start sounding like a Brit, no matter.
think?
Yeah.
Give me
does
a
that,
week and
does
I'll
that, does that work when you
My
move
my
from-
cousin's an expatriate.
I
He
could
lives
be
over
British
there, and
now.
like honestly, he reverts back to sounding American every time he's here. but like if you go to England, he sounds English.
So then, how come when I moved from New York to New Jersey,
Oh my
You
God.
didn't
nothing
you
changed?
didn't
got
drop the
worse,
accent, Dennis. I don't know
You got
why.
worse.
I wonder why you never dropped the accent.
I don't have an accent.
Oh, not at all, Cha-Cha. No accent ever.
She seriously argues with me all the time.
Shut
because
up.
Argues with I argue and
her
then
friend
I
is
get
like-
nowhere.
Hold on. Her friend is like, oh my God, I love listening to Dennis's accent. And she's like, oh yeah, Iris makes fun of your accent all the time. I say, me? What about you? You sound
don't
just
know.
like me. How dare you?
Oh, you both.
Just like,
Oh my God.
So anyway, that's
Call us. We'll talk.
oh my God.
Let's get back to Madonna now.
Yes.
That she kept it going. This is the most amazing part about her. You thought, all right, she had this amazing run in the 80s. You'll never hear from her again in the 90s. But boy, were you wrong.
So wrong.
That in the 90s, she had 18 top 20 songs.
Yeah.
And 4 number ones. You
Is
know?
Ray of Light
That's it.
one
In the
of them?
90s, she was
Yes.
actually bigger.
Okay.
Yeah, Ray of Light.
That's my favorite.
Vogue, Justify
Yeah.
My Love, Rescue Me, blah, blah, blah. So many. If I remember, I'll remember, went to number 2. And then in the 2000s, she even had a number 1 hit. Her song Music went
Yep.
to number 1. And her last top 10 hit was 2012. Give Me All Your Lovin' went to number 10. There you have it. That's some career.
She's
man.
had more longevity
You
than
know
most
all
rock
these
stars,
songs?
to be honest with you.
Not the
Like,
last one. What's Give Me
I
You don't know Give Me All Your
I
Lovin'?
No. Can you sing it?
yeah, please sing
Come
it.
on.
Give me
Come
all
on,
your
Dennis.
love.
that doesn't
your
help.
kisses too.
No, that's a different Give Me All Your Lovin', right?
That's what I'm thinking about.
We
Like, I
are
don't know
so
that one.
showing our age.
Is
Oh
that,
my
who's
God.
that by? Robert Palmer? Give me all your love. Or is-
Nah,
Yeah.
come on.
Come
we're
on.
losing ground.
Off the rails.
So,
Oh
anyway.
my gosh.
So, also,
too
other
funny.
stuff that happened. She was a big star at Live Aid. She was, and like we
Yes.
mentioned, that sex
Yes.
book that she
Yes.
came out
Yeah.
with was quite controversial.
Right.
Now, let's talk about her influence. That pretty much every girl after this was influenced by Madonna. Every girl in the 80s, 90s, beyond.
I would say so.
Would you think Lady Gaga was influenced by Madonna?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
influenced by Madonna. It's
Maybe
ridiculous.
her look, but
No, everything.
No,
that she did.
just
Yeah,
in
I
general.
think so.
Like she was one of those
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
girls to actually
Right.
step out there and do that type of thing.
That,
like,
you know, there was outrageous girls, crazy rock girls and stuff,
Right.
but there was
Right.
nobody that was this outrageous sexually and
yeah, and was pop
Explicit.
friendly.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
I guess you're right.
That this
Yeah.
she's the
Yeah.
queen of pop, and she's naked most of the time.
She's Blondie
Oh,
on
yeah.
steroids,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, exactly.
Like-
So, and you know, of course, what's her name? The Britney Spears.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
all Madonna.
Everyone,
Th-
yeah.
None of those girls would have actually had careers if it wasn't for Madonna, like
Exactly.
doing this back in
You
'84.
know, they took the Madonna playbook and they
Yeah.
said, "This is what
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
gonna do."
Be as
The
outrageous.
fashion, and,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
Christina Aguilera, Madonna.
exactly.
Yeah.
Come on.
Name someone, and we'll go point right back to Madonna.
Yeah.
yeah, well,
That's it.
Beyonce.
Madonna.
Keep naming people.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Pink, Madonna.
Yes, definitely
Yes.
Pink.
Yeah.
Yep. And they all pay respect to her. You
do.
know?
Yeah,
They even make out with her on award shows. sometimes.
Exactly.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
Big
Oh.
part of my childhood.
So
yeah.
what we need to do now, we need to
Smell the
Estelle, I'm not
album.
sure that you've ever done this before, but we like to
God.
smell the album on this show.
Oh.
But normally they have rat pee on it and
Yeah.
Or some kind of funk.
fungus and stuff, so it smells much better.
Like
but
dampness.
This is a relatively new album.
That's a clean record.
Wait, so I just smell it
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
smell
and then
it.
do what?
You know,
Just enjoy it.
Just breathe it in.
because vinyl, the
Just
idea
breathe
of
it in.
vinyl is
Go
so
get an old one.
old.
Yeah, yeah.
that
Okay.
We need an old
It
album.
would be in someone's.
Don't let her first smell be that one. That one doesn't
No, that's
have much
awful.
of a smell.
No,
We're
I'll-
gonna take
I'll-
a look
I'll be
at
back.
that.
Okay.
Might go get a fungus one in the other room.
Wait, we've had some really bad ones.
All right, we're back here. So now Estelle's going to smell her first album. Open it up and smell it. So doesn't it
She
smell
did.
good?
I opened it, yeah.
See? And
Yeah.
for us, for people,
yeah.
Just get this
Okay.
side here.
Okay.
No, it's this side.
see, we enjoy because the smell takes
Yes.
us back to when we were
Yes.
in our parents'
That is a
basement.
good choice.
Yes,
there.
that
listening
is a
to
good
these
one.
albums.
This
Ooh,
is-
Let me
one,
try
yeah,
this one.
This
Yeah,
has some
this is
dankness
just
to it.
a-
Yeah, see,
Okay.
that's a
Yeah, I
good
mean,
one.
it's, yeah.
So there you have it, 1984. Everything you ever wanted to know and everything you wanted to know about Madonna. Thank you guys for coming on and reliving 1984 with us.
Excellent. Great night.
So that is it. Madhouse Magazine, Radio Hour, 474 The Mix. MadhouseMagazine.com, where you can see all of Estelle's photographs.
Yeah.
And her company is called, how do you pronounce that?
Cuckoo Photography, but It's going to change soon.
Ooh.
Stay tuned.
It's going to be Dennis and Cuckoo photography. Dennis is Cuckoo.
Dennis
There
is
you
cuckoo.
go.
Dennis is cuckoo
That's
photography.
it.
All right, stay tuned for that. But madhousemagazine.com, you can get all the news, not for print, all nonsense you ever wanted. All right, let's hear it for us.
Yay.